Are you tired of feeling sore and even injured after jiu-jitsu? Keep watching. That way you can learn some yoga moves that will help you feel way more mobile, calm when you're training, and also recover faster. Even you can use this as a warm-up. So here we have some rockers. This is great for the spine. And it also helps us, for those that are newer to jiu-jitsu or getting stacked in this position, you learn how to breathe calmly, relax, and you're comfortable here. So this is a great warm-up. Just breathe. If you want, you can also keep your feet off of the mat to practice your core and your balance and your stability. From here, as you roll, extend your left leg. As you extend your left leg, bring your right leg over around your knee. And as you hold your right knee, bring your elbow across and just spinal twist, switch, spinal twist. Keeping your foot completely planted on the mat. As you hold, push your leg in, your knee in towards your arm, wrap around, exhale as you twist. And again, bring it in, bring it across, push it in, hold, exhale, and twist. Why this? Why are we doing this move, seated spinal twist? As you know in jiu-jitsu, we do a lot of spinal twisting. If we're not used to getting into spinal twisting positions, that's how people can end up with strains, sprains, and just muscle discomfort that, why do you have to go through that when you can actually warm up, recover, and keep training with less probability of being injured and recover a lot faster. So when you press your arm into your knee, extend your torso up, exhale, and twist. It's not about turning your chin away, we're turning our chest. And from here, you can grab your jiu-jitsu belt or a yoga strap or even a towel or even a pair of pants, leggings or whatever. Lie back, bring your knees in towards your chest for a few. When you come in, bring them in. Try to keep your tailbone on the mat. Don't bring it off of the mat. Keep it on the mat. Bring your knees in. You can open your knees up, keeping your feet together. And as you exhale, bring them in together. And exhale. From here, you can grab opposite hand to opposite knee. Extend the opposite arm to the side. And slowly drop your knees away from your center. Keeping your other opposite hand palm up. Pressing the back of your hand into the floor. And as you inhale, use your core to draw your knees back to center line. As you know in jiu-jitsu, exhale. We definitely do a lot of twisting and turning, especially when someone is stack passing us or does a leg drag. We're always turning our hips in opposite directions. So there we go. And being comfortable and calm in a twisted spinal motion is not only healthy for us, because when we restrict, we create more tension than what our body actually does need. So one of the benefits, of the many benefits of doing yoga for jiu-jitsu is the actual mental focus, the mindfulness. How so? How is that possible? Well, for example, when we are focusing on what we're feeling, such as, okay, I know I'm in this position, relax. Don't fight it, embrace it, and detach from the outcome that you desire. Simply move around to something else. All right, so they smashed past me. Okay, I'm not gonna stress over the fact that they smashed past me. I'm going to figure out what is my next option. So that's the mindfulness and the healthy detachment part. Bringing your knee in towards your chest, you can grab your belt, your strap, or your leggings or towel. Wrap it around the ball of your foot. Keeping your knee micro bent, adjust to grab the strap or your belt with a loose grip. So like thumb and index finger. And then from there, just bring the knee in towards your underarm, right there. Even unless you're flexible enough where you can actually hold your foot and allow your knee to be into your underarm. And relax. Extend, inhale. Then once again, draw it in slowly. And just stay here for like 3 breaths. Keeping your foot flat as if you were standing on the wall. Keeping your toes active, so we don't have lazy toes, but they're active. There you go, and extend. When we extend, we're extending fully with our knee active, our kneecap or quadricep active, and our toes, if you can spread them, get into the habit of spreading them. It activates everything. Come back. Now, when do we find ourselves in this position in jiu-jitsu? When we are playing guard retention. We're here, we're here. Some people are very tight, and so what they have to do is bring their upper body in. There is a time for that, but if you don't need to and you're comfortable just rocking back and forth with your guard, right there, no problem. It's a lot easier, and you have literally become used to that motion, so you're not overusing your hip flexors because you have core stability and core strength with it, which is very important. So from here, bend. The other leg can be bent with your knee up towards the ceiling or extended, whatever feels most comfortable to you. So here, taking a full breath, expanding your diaphragm, and as you exhale, allow it to just relax. There's no restriction, no constriction. It's just breathing and flowing. Bring the knee in, keeping the toes active, foot is flat towards the ceiling, and just extend. How does that feel? Good. And then from here, we're going to switch our hands. So it's my right foot with my left hand. I'm going to slowly bring it on over and across. Nice and slow. Slower is better. There you go. Active, active, active toes. Keeping that foot active, toes are spread, and I'm just trying to keep as much of my upper back flat on the mat. Exhale as you try to rotate your chest up towards the ceiling, because some people sometimes do put you in this position. And when you're in this position and you can breathe comfortably and stay there calmly until you figure out what their next move, that way you can then make it your move, it's a good thing. Exhale. As you inhale, switch. And then extend your opposite arm. Start rotating slowly. Toes are active, foot is active, flat. Start extending, extending. And see how my hip is stacked over my other hip? That's what you want. You don't want it being, I mean, you can't, there's nothing wrong with this, but ideally it's stacked, hip over hip. And extending, and if you need to adjust your shoulders because let's say it's off of the mat, shoulder walk your other one away until it's actually as flat as possible. Trying to keep your chest facing the ceiling. And you might feel little, movements around your spine. So exhale, and we'll do one more on each side. Keeping the toes active, stretching it over and across, stacking hip over hip, shoulder walking, so both of your shoulders are on the mat and your chest is up towards the ceiling. Breathing here. If you want to exhale and bring your leg up a little higher, awesome. And then exhale, switch. And when you do this at the school, at the dojo, the academy, it doesn't have to be more than literally a 7-minute warm-up. It can just be hopping onto the mat, grabbing my belt, doing 3 to 5 on each side, breathing with mindfulness, creating space, focusing on your breathing, making sure that you exhale and inhale nasally with the tip of your tongue gently touching the roof of your mouth. And just one more on each side. And relaxing your jaw, One of the great things I've learned from practicing yoga while I'm doing jiu-jitsu, believe it or not, is keeping my jaw relaxed. A lot of us, if not everybody, we clench our jaw and we tend to grind or at least clench our teeth. And which is why another reason mouth guards are important. But keeping your jaw as relaxed as possible, keeping your tongue relaxed as possible is actually very beneficial. It does help conserve your energy. You can put the belt to the side. From here, rock on up, roll on over to your stomach. And from here, round your stomach, elbows by your chest, hands flat. Allow some space between your hips and your hands. And from here, press your hands against the mat by your chest. Elbows come in. As you exhale, lift your upper body. Imagine pressing your hips down into the mat, looking forward, and then slowly releasing. Why am I doing this? Well, as you know, in jiu-jitsu, most times we end up doing some backward motion. And so whatever we do forward, we should do back to the sides when it comes to yoga health. Moving our spine ideally in 4 to 6 directions. Exhale, now press your knees into the mat, press your hands into the mat, and slowly walk it back into a child's pose. And from here, adjust my pants, big toes together, knees apart. Allowing my hips to be on top of my heels. If your hips do not reach your heels, you can, if you're at the school, roll up your gi top. Or you can use at home a towel or a blanket so you have the support to actually rest. You're not holding yourself up. Just relax. And then from here, extend your opposite arm. So for me, it's my left arm over to like the diagonal of the mat. And I'm pressing my underarm down as I'm reaching my middle finger away from my upper body. Breathing here, pressing lightly. And then switching. So I'm gliding all the way across at a diagonal, reaching without lifting my hips. So I'm just reaching, keeping my hips as low as possible, dropping my underarm to the mat, and just breathing. My opposite hand presses into the mat, and I'm just breathing here and exhaling. And then switch. This one can be nice and dynamic, so breathe. We do use our lats a lot for framing, pushing off, holding. Switch. And then one more. And then from here, going to cat-cow position, which everyone pretty much knows what this is. I'm on all fours, my elbows, wrist, and shoulders are all in alignment. My hips aligned with my knees. My feet are flat on the mat. I could also be on my toes, doesn't matter. As you inhale, bring your nose up toward the ceiling and release your navel, expand your diaphragm, bring your tailbone up to the ceiling, and as you exhale, slowly round it all the way so your chin meets your chest. And this is great for when we are balled up in a position. Even in turtle position, we tend to round our backs. So we round our back a lot in jiu-jitsu. So it's great to be able to have that spinal mobility and flexibility to move it in any and all directions. So just breathing, can do it dynamically. See how that feels? When you bring your chin up towards the ceiling, your tailbone up towards the ceiling, try to drop your belly button down to the mat. And now as you round it out, imagine like you are pressing the mat away with your hands and your toes or the tops of your feet. They're active. One more thing that I love to do for jiu-jitsu warm-up is threading the needle. So you bring your opposite arm from me. It's my left arm. I'm bringing it towards you. I can rest my head on the mat. My opposite arm comes all the way up. Extend the middle finger up towards the ceiling actively. The opposite hand that's on the mat, the top of the hand, presses down into the mat very lightly. You can even extend, add a little bit of extra length. pushing it into the mat as you lift nice and high. And then you're going to switch. So extend, threading it under. I'm grabbing my own wrist, pulling it away from me. And I'm extending my opposite arm up towards the ceiling, lifting nice and high. Repeating, stretching it out, pressing in, extend nice and high. If you want, you can also bring your arm behind you. But this is awesome for thoracic extension. Here, reach nice and high, pressing the bottom arm into the floor lightly, gently. And one more on each side. Right here, release, and right here. From here, come into sitting position, go into what we call butterfly pose. So the the soles of our feet are together and the soles of our feet are facing each other. If you are tight, it doesn't matter if you have to keep your feet out this far. That's fine. The goal is not about how close we can bring our heels to our groin area. The goal is to actually be able to stretch forward like this, hinging at the hip, not rounding, but hinging at the hip, and just simply placing your hands on the mat and slowly walking it out as best as you can. If this is as far as you can go, that's awesome. Just be mindful, let it feel good, welcome it. And instead of thinking, oh my God, I'm so tight, I'm so sore, my back hurts, I'm injured, change that mindset to being, this is what I can do, this feels good, and I'm making space. So as you're here, breathe, soften your gaze, allow your hips to open and relax. If you are home and you're doing this after jiu-jitsu, you can put some bolsters or towels, cushions of the same height and width underneath your knees for some support if you'd rather stay here for like 4 minutes, 5 minutes. Extend. Once you've done that a couple of times, then now you can simply bring one knee in towards your groin, opposite foot comes out, you're gonna come on up and hip thrust forward. And hip thrust forward. Here you can keep your foot flat or you can bring it on your toes. Whatever feels good to you, that's all you have to do. Let it feel good. It's like jiu-jitsu. You end up personalizing it to what works for you and your body type and where your body is meeting you that day. So here, do one more on each side. Just making sure that your knee is pointing the same direction as your toes. And last one. There you go. Thank you for joining me. I hope you apply this. If you do, drop a comment. Let me know how much you liked it. If you would have preferred something else, I would love your feedback. And don't forget, like, subscribe, keep training, and stay healthy.